Hi, this is Fahad, and in this video, I'm going to share with you 7 reasons why you must consider becoming a financially independent person. So, the first one is self-reliance. If you look at it, self-reliance means relying only on oneself to be able to earn money, to be able to earn a livelihood. And as a Muslim, it's our job, it's our duty, it's our responsibility to be financially independent. Let me share with you an incident from the times of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A person came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam from the Ansar tribe, and he begged from him. The Prophet said, "Have you nothing in your house?" The man said, "Yes, a piece of cloth, a part of which we wear, and a part of which we spread on the ground, and a wooden bowl from which we drink water." The Prophet said, "Bring them to me." The man brought these articles to him, and the Prophet took them in his hands, and he said, "Who will buy these?" Someone said, "I will buy them for 1 coin." The Prophet said twice or thrice, "Who will offer more than 1 coin?" Someone said, "I will buy them for 2 coins." He sold them for 2 coins. And the Prophet said, "Buy food with one of them and give it to your family. Buy an axe and bring it to me." The man brought it to him. The Prophet fixed a handle on it with his own hands, and he said, "Go gather firewood and sell it, and do not let me see you for a fortnight." The man went away and gathered firewood and sold it. When he had earned 10 coins, he came and bought a garment and food. The Prophet said, "This is better for you than for begging to come as a blemish on your face on the day of resurrection." Begging is appropriate only for 3 people: 1 in severe poverty, 1 in severe debt, and 1 who must pay a difficult compensation. This is reported by Anas ibn Malik, and it can be found in Sunan Abu Dawud 1641. So this is reason number 1. As a Muslim, we are not supposed to be begging anyone or to be relying on anyone else or any other entity. We should be self-reliant. And the Prophet ﷺ has recommended it, and with this hadith, it is proven that it is highly recommended for any man to earn a living by themselves. Which brings me to point number 2, which is self-esteem. So if a person develops the habit of relying on someone or some other entity other than their own selves for their finances, it shatters their self-esteem. And just look around you in your city, in your neighborhood, in your country, on the news. You get to see so many people who are highly qualified academically. Some are engineers, some are doctors, yet they are literally crying because they can't get a job. So just look at the state of the education system, or the quality of education that the common man gets, that they invest so much time of their life, and they're actually grown-up adults by the time they're done with the academics, and they invest so much money getting those qualifications, yet they are unable to do something for themselves by themselves when it comes to earning money. So there is a huge flaw. There is this huge gap. They know so much, but they aren't able to do anything about it. So there is this knowing and doing gap, and it's huge. It cripples people, grown-up adults, and it shakes their self-esteem. But eventually what happens? Eventually someone someday will decide and start a food business, maybe on the street side. And there shouldn't be any feeling of sympathy or pity for that person, because at least that person has learned the lesson from which life has taught that person, that he must do something rather than depending on someone else or some other entity for earning their livelihood. At least it's a great start. So instead of life teaching you that lesson, why not be proactive and start taking this matter, which is very serious, because everything is getting expensive. And from practical experience, from reality, from observation, you can see when you were a child, things were like you could buy things for this much money. Now you need this much money to buy the same thing. I remember when I was a kid, and my grandfather used to say that he used to buy a goat for 5 rupees. And at that time, we used to buy a goat for 5, 6, 7,000 rupees. Okay, a decent one, not a very healthy one, but a decent one. And now you can buy a decent one for 50,000 rupees. So the prices are only going to go up by the time your kids are grown up, if you have kids now. So it's not just for you to be in a position of financial independence. It's for your next generation as well. What kind of role model are you being in front of your kids? Because let's face it, times are tough and they're only getting tougher day by day. The third reason why I think that you must become financially independent is decision making. When you are not dependent on any person or any entity like a company to give you a salary or money, your decision making ability becomes stronger. It gets stronger day by day, every day. But when you are dependent on someone or some entity, your decision-making ability sucks. Just look around you at all the people who are dependent when it comes to their finances. Now let's look at the lifestyle. So when you're working for someone else, they literally own you. I remember working for Cisco, and the more they pay you, the more they own you. Majority of the time is for the company and for the business of that company. Whatever is left over is your time. And that kind of life really sucks. It does. Fortunately for me, in my case, I was single and at that time, and I was younger. So, but it was also at that time that I started to do something about my finances, about becoming financially independent. That's back in 2008. So another reason is your ability to give back. So when you are doing a business or you are financially independent, which usually comes back in the form of some form of business or some form of lending service as a consultant, as a freelancer, as an independent coach, you get barakah in your earnings because it's a law, it's a rule. There is more barakah in business than there is in a job. So you get surplus amount of money, so you can distribute it among the needy people or for the causes that you believe in. So you only really get that opportunity once you are financially independent. Before that, it's peanuts. It's nothing significant. Now let's look at another reason. The moment you decide to be financially independent, to be in business for yourself, and you take steps towards it, and you basically start on this journey, you learn what tawakkal really means. You learn to rely only on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and no one else and nothing else. And your iman and your faith only grows stronger and stronger and stronger. You experience so many things which you don't get to experience as a job person or someone who works for someone else. And it's like no one is there to pull your strings. So it's a more dignified way to live, right? To end this, I want to share with you what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam also said, that the upper hand is better than the lower hand. So think about some of those reasons, and maybe you can come up with more reasons which are close to your heart. Think about them, ponder upon this topic, and start becoming financially independent. Not just for yourself, but for your next generation. I hope it helps. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.